Exactly. Yeah, and Gust is an important influence on Jerry. I worked for Jerry Brown for 2 years when he was mayor of Oakland as the director of sustainability. A title that Jerry came up with. And I think it was the first one in the country, and now there's quite a few. In fact, there's even a network of sustainability directors for the Green Cities movement. There's a lot of potential in the Green Cities movement. If we can ecologize the urban areas, we stand a chance to shoulder the responsibilities that Gary's talking about. But can we ecologize capitalism? Isn't the global economy sort of one of those white elephants that we're not talking about? It's global commerce doing so much damage, and that capital market economic system. I know that you've been thinking about that and writing on it in the last few years. You want to give us a few of your thoughts on that arena?
Oh, I've always thought capitalism was awful. At least on the sort of the large mega scale of it, whereas street capitalism, frying octopuses on barrels on the side of the road and selling it to people, that's nice. And you get that in China. What's at the heart of the matter, really, I think, for the developed world, Occidental and East Asian developed world, is one simple ethical point, which I come back to again and again. And that is, we live in a world right now in a mindset which is Judeo-Christian plus so-called scientific, that both from the scientific and post-Enlightenment side and from the Judeo-Christian side is totally human-centered and cannot really come up with good reasons to take non-human living entities seriously. It's a failure of thinking, and it's a failure of feeling. You get it in the bluntest possible terms in the Ten Commandments, in the lead commandment, which is thou shalt not kill, which does not mean anything other than human beings. It does not extend in any way to the non-human world, traditionally. You can't avoid that, in recognizing that. There are other cultures in the world, and some of them are Aboriginal and Native, and some of them are East Asian, that say in various ways, we have some moral responsibility to engage with all of the sentient world and to see them as having moral worth in their own right, not just as in regard to whatever value, economic or other value they might have for us, like, we don't want to lose the salmon in the North Pacific because then what will we eat? Salmon have some integrity in their own right, some value in their own right. Or as John Muir said about mountain sheep in his wonderful little essay, Wild Wool, the mountain sheep are not there for us, they're there for themselves. So if just that much switch of consciousness is a profound step in the right direction. And that is something that art and spirituality are involved with, as well as all this urban and suburban activism.
In the 3 or 4 minutes that we have left, we'll get in a few more questions. And then Gary's going to have to run out and let his dog out of the car to relieve its bladder.
I let her pee just before I came down.
I saw something over here.
Yeah.
There's a point of view out there that the wild does not exist anymore without human management, and that we should therefore live up to our responsibility as humans and manage it the best we can. Do you think that's a megalomaniac point of view? Oh,
I think it's the government point of view, and it's intended to get a budget from year to year. It's not worthy of a great deal of debate because it's a postmodernist and post-structuralist thing too. And I know people in the English department who talk that way. They don't know what they're talking about. it's as though they live in their own little shell. The wild is a profound force of which we are one of the end results. Human beings come into existence as part of organic evolution, a non-managed, self-managing, totally unpredictable by any outside standards process over millions of years, and here we are. And we are not admiring that, not acknowledging it, not respecting it. We've got a ways to go still. Yeah.
Is there anything up in the celestial session? Yeah.
I have something.
Let me get this woman, and then we'll try to get you. Go ahead.
I want to know, how can we fit most naturally or wildly into our natural world?
How can we fit most naturally or wildly into our natural world?
Into our natural world. What is our place when we're not Aborigines and if we want to?
I'll give you my old bioregional rap, which is learn the birds, learn the plants, figure out where the watersheds are, go for walks, take some interest in the physical landscape, whether you're in town or whether you're in the country, get a bearing on what's north, south, east, and west. And then you might also practice a little meditation and watch the unmanageability of your own mind, which is humbling and useful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when I walk in these woods, Gary, I notice that things are all tangled up with each other. And is that one of the processes of wild that you've noticed too?
Of course. You know, sure. You know, vines wrap around each other. What comes in after a fire comes in. You know, we don't expect the wild world to be our park. And you don't expect it to look the way you want this year. Even after a logging show, or after a logging show and then a couple of fires, give it 1,000 years, and you'll see what comes back. So you have to think for some of these things, like when you're dealing with wild ecosystems, it works out in time, but maybe not instantly in your own time. So, you know, enjoy the tangles and the brush and the blackberries as well. We have to learn that.
If you want a last question.
How do you end up with a poodle?
Oh boy, you asked for it.
Explain yourself.
You asked for it.
It's a French poodle.
Poodles are not wimpy little French dogs. And they are not by nature attached to running around with models. The word poodle is from the German. It's an old, early medieval German breed, and it means puddle, like a mud puddle, because poodles are water dogs and they love to get wet and they love to run in the water. They're a hunting dog and they are good retrievers. They are absolutely totally alert, and also they're very, very smart, and they know better than you do what you're thinking sometimes. They're totally great companions, but I have to pay attention to my dog. I'm learning to listen to her and watch what she's doing, because when she growls a certain kind of growl, she smells a bear. When she barks in a certain way, it'll be a person coming. If she barks in another way, there'll be some deers outside. And this is how I'm learning this bit by bit. Also, she hears cars and trucks coming down the gravel road long before I do, and she lets me know a car is coming. I only wish that I had paid more attention to nonverbal communication earlier in life. It would have improved a lot of my behavior in other situations too.
Thank you, Gary. We're all so appreciative.